to Christina's Magical Moments, where we are at Universal Studios Hollywood, about to go on the Universal Studio Tour. So hang tight. We're gonna see what it looks like after the 60th anniversary festivities is over.
All the way down to car 4. Grab the beauty glasses, head down to car 4.
All right, folks. All right, let's do this. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Sorry. Welcome back, everybody.
Hi, everyone. In just a few moments,
Hello,
you'll be boarding
hello.
one of the Studio Tour trams. In the meantime, make sure you're standing on a numbered star on the ground. Each one of those stars represents a seat on board the next tram. So, if you've got a star, you've got a seat. Also, please remain behind the red safety line. That's for your safety and the safety of those around you. Well, that's it. Just make sure you have your 3D glasses ready to go before you head out and enjoy yourselves on the world-famous
All right, so like I said,
Studio
what we are doing here is I'm curious, now that the festivities have ended of the Universal Studio Tour's 60th anniversary, we're gonna see what they still have going and what they don't have going in regards to the 60th. Hello, hello everyone! What they've changed. They have some, what do you call it? They have some Horror Nights stuff up as well too. Here we go. Let's do this. Ooh, the seat is hot. It's a hot seat. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Hope you guys enjoy the YouTube stream. If this is your first time here, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more theme park and fandom content. I stream at Universal Studios Hollywood mostly, as this is my home park. I also stream at Disneyland on occasion, and sometimes even Knott's Berry Farm, which will be happening this week here on YouTube. So yeah, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And we also post videos, a lot of ride-throughs and fun stuff like that. So yeah, thank you for being here. But looks like there's a glam tram right there. Hello, hello. So they have a 60th Glamour tram still out. And thank you all for hitting that like button. I really appreciate that. It helps the algorithm. It helps me know that you like the content as well too, and that you like the stream. So thank you.
Traveling with really small children, if their feet cannot touch the ground, we suggest moving them towards the center of the train, just away from any vehicle openings.
So thank you for tapping that like button. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here. Hopefully this is nice on your TV or tablet or, I don't know, wherever you're watching. Hi, Cheyenne!
We're going to be passing by close by to some of the filming that's taking place. We film a lot of videos, television.
Hello, everyone. Let's see, I'll do shout outs here. Hello, Justin, Laurel, Tammy, Unique. Now it's dark. That's the name. I'm not saying it's dark now. Michael, Cheyenne, Anthony. Welcome, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you for the likes. Thank you. All right, let's do this. I'm also going to try and pan in on anything that is Halloween Horror Nights, as it is August 19th. And they're already well underway on getting Halloween Horror Nights set up. So, without further ado, I'm going to be quiet so you guys can enjoy the tour, okay? Let's do this.
and I'll be back to assist as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, stay seated. Keep your arms and legs inside at all times. If you drop your phone and need to use the restroom, pull the cord and remain seated, and I'll be back to assist. There is no smoking of any kind during the tour, please. And be prepared. Our tour today features...
Is it just me, or does he sound like John Mulaney?
Fire effects.
Maybe just me.
Water effects. You'll want to have your cameras out for great photo opportunities, but you do have the possibility of getting wet if you're sitting in a blue seat, so watch out. Watch out. Finally, for your safety and for those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while you are on board. So let's get our tour started with our master of ceremonies. He's the host of the Tonight Show, Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Fallon. Welcome aboard the world famous studio tour. I know you're thinking, why the cut? Well, we're celebrating our 60th anniversary. That's right, 60 years of glitz, glamour, and our own great white shark. As we celebrate our diamond anniversary today.
On our left, I'm going to pan so you guys can see. That is what is going to be the Fast and Furious coaster here at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Get ready for fun, excitement, and an experience like no other.
Ever since the opening day of our movie studio in 1915, our founder, Carl Backlot, had the vision, the dream of this, coming to the lot and seeing the behind the scenes of movie making. So ever since our opening day in 1915, we've had guests touring the Universal lot and seeing the behind the scenes. Of course, in those early days, that was the second film era. We didn't have to worry about sort of quiet on the set, things that we have nowadays. We modernized the tour in the 1960s. We brought in the red and white anti-striped trams. And we've been doing it for the last 60 years. We've updated our trams over the years. And we still tour the same 400 acres of Universal space for movies, television shows, music videos, commercials, still to this day. We're going to be heading to the front line of our studio lot first. We literally drive right between the studio and the theme park. We're going to see a majority of our sound stages located in our front line. Sound stages are big warehouse buildings where we can build a type of interior scene for our productions. Usually when you see an indoor scene, a movie or a television show, we build that set inside of a sound stage. One of our popular stages, Sound Stage 12, coming up on your left, you'll see some fake scenes on your screens that have filmed in Stage 12 throughout the years. The next thing Stage 12 is going to be used for Halloween horror nights. This year they're building a couple of the haunted houses for Halloween inside of Sound Stage 12. So it's a
HHN Sound Stage 12.
Literally all the scenes you're seeing right now filmed in that sound stage.
So that's a little bit of news.
Types of interiors for different productions. What you're seeing right now is what the soundstage looks like in between productions, when there is nothing.
So Soundstage 12 is back here, I believe. That's where HHN is going to be. Or some of HHN.
On our property, so we can film multiple interior scenes at the same time. One of our permanent shows that films for Peacock is called Bel Air, starring Jabari Banks and Holly Charlton. They just released their third season on the streaming service, Peacock. They utilize stages 7 and 8 here on our left. It's a permanent show, Bel Air, on Peacock is. What it means to be permanent, it means they film here often enough. It means they film here so regularly, it makes sense for them to have everything they need in one central location. So Bel Air can utilize stage 7, stage 8. They also use stage 14, which is coming up on our left-hand side in a moment. They can use, they store their sets in these stages year-round. They can store them in there when they're on hiatus from filming. Hiatus is a fancy word they use for vacation, which is what they are currently on. They finished the filming for season 3, so they went on hiatus, they went on a break. They just released season 3, as a matter of fact, I think on August 15th, just a couple of days ago. The way the streaming service works, I think the entire season dropped at once. Different than one of our NBC television shows, but hey, it's all part of the family. NBC, Peacock, Universal. Now, you don't have to be a part of our network in order to film here. Anyone is welcome to rent out space. Stage 14, they're on our left-hand side, by the way. This would be a lot busier, perhaps, if they were in action, if they were actually using these stages to film at the moment, but they store their sets inside for the time being. We can build any type of interior set that the script calls for. So that includes talk show sets, where you might need audience members. Game show sets. We filmed the singing competition, The Voice, here at Universal Studios. They utilize some of our sound stages towards the backlot. We also filmed another game show called The Wall for NBC. That was filmed episodes here at Universal Studios, if you watched that one as well. Now, some of the stages that we're passing on our right have been used recently for another Peacock series called Killing It. Stars Craig Robinson, you might know him from things like The Office, among others. But you don't have to be a part of our network. Of course, it makes sense for a lot of our productions to film here. For example, the final stage we'll see on the right-hand side, stage 19. It's been used recently for a Netflix series, an upcoming Netflix show called A Classic Spy. It's going to star Ted Danson. They were filming interior scenes for that Netflix series here on our right-hand side of stage 19. So these stages can be rented by anybody. We like having them in use by as many productions as possible. Hey, if you look left as we continue forward, you might spot a celebrity. I see Ted, the teddy bear. You might recognize him from his movies, Ted, Ted 2. They recently released Ted on Peacock with an all-new streaming series earlier this year. It's called Ted. How convenient. Also kind of confusing at the same time. But hey, Ted hangs out here on the front line. And Ted, you can stream that on Peacock. You can probably watch those movies on Peacock as well. He's part of our family. Except for Farley. The front lawn is where the majority of these sound stages are located.
Was that?
And, the front lawn is also where sometimes office work takes place, including the
Did you guys see who just drove by?
or the post-production work. That includes
That looked like Corbin.
or hiring the actors to play the characters, or
Okay, I could be reading too much into it.
visual effects
It sure did look like
work,
it.
you know, adding in CGI, computer-generated imagery. Some of that work can happen on our left-hand side. Inside of these bungalows, they serve as offices for different writers, directors, producers, production companies. We're a home to Illumination Entertainment, who make animated movies like Super Mario Brothers. We got Despicable Me 4 in theaters right now. You'll see the office of the late Mr. Alfred Hitchcock. He used to work at Bungalow 5195. They have his famous silhouette still painted on the outside next to the doorway. Bungalow is still currently in use by the De Laurentiis Company and the very suspenseful movie-making film. We've got two more sound stages on our left that are in use right now by a couple of NBC shows. The stage on the left-hand side is being used by George Lopez's series. He's got a show called Lopez vs. Lopez. Co-stars his real-life daughter. I think that's where they get the name. They're filming on the left. The stage on the right is being used for another NBC series, a new one called St. Dennis Medical. It's coming out in November. They're filming interior scenes for season 1 of St. Dennis Medical on the right in stage 26. This is stage 25 and 26. They actually share a common wall down the center, but they're divided. These are two separate stages with some fancy offices there on the front side. Both the stages are in use today, by the way. Lopez vs. Lopez and St. Dennis Medical are
James Corden, that's who I was thinking.
They're also setting up for another series here in our Metro sets.
Could be wrong.
When we pull forward, we're going to get a glimpse of our Metro area. So we can film interior scenes all the time, but we can also film exterior scenes. For the rest of the tour, Jacob's going to be driving us through our different backlot locations where we can film outdoor scenes. This first area that you'll get a glimpse of are Metro sets, where we can recreate the big city. We've recreated it before as New York, as Boston for some of the Ted filming. It was 1990s Boston.
Hi,
for
Becky.
Peacock series version of Ted. Let's play San Francisco.
Thank you again for joining, everyone. Again, I do stream at theme parks and post content on fandoms as well too. So thanks for hitting that subscribe button. Thanks for following. Thanks for liking, hitting that like button. I really appreciate that as well too. Thank you for being here and allowing me to be a part of your Monday morning. And if you're watching this post, I hope this brings a little bit of magic into your day.
From time to time. And sometimes we get a chance to drive through a couple of the streets. Right now, they're literally setting up for an upcoming production, so we'll get a quick glimpse as we head up the hill. And that's after we do a little fun thing, we'll have a chance to drive past the Metro sets another time, probably get a better look at them here in a few moments. But we're going to be heading up the hill and heading up to Skull Island, King Kong 363. In the meantime, look left. We'll see what we can see here at the Metro sets. Most of these buildings are just facades, so they don't even have the interiors of them. We prefer to film the interior part of the scene inside the soundstage. These are exterior walls, pretty much. As the tour goes on, you might be able to see through windows, out the doorways. You see that some of the facades aren't as real, and you see everything. But of course, we don't show those things off. You see to tell us where we are headed to next, let's turn it over to Academy Award-winning director Peter Jackson.
It's the original thing of that made me want to do the original. I saw that on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old. I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away.
Good afternoon, everybody.
You're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters, creatures from historic times. So I was thrilled when you first invited me back to the island. It was great to have you along for the ride. Now we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, just have them in your hand because we're about to return to the sky.
Don't worry, Peter Jackson's going to be back at the very last moment to tell you when to put those 3D glasses on.
We really put a lot of thought into the character and personality. He's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. He is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature of Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like his personality. He's had an enormous number of encounters with his foes, the T-Rexes and various dinosaurs in the sky. And so he's beaten up, scarred, chewed up, spat out by these dinosaurs at various times. He wears the scars of a lot of ancient battles.
Secure any loose belongings, stay in your seats, hang on to those 3D glasses as we return to Star Island.
Car 4, man. Cheered. That was awesome.
One of the largest and most intense 3D experiences on the planet. That epic battle was brought to you by Peter Jackson and the team at Webbit FX, New Zealand-based company. Webbit has won some Academy Awards in the past for working on films like Avatar, King Kong, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Hobbit trilogy, Guardians of the Galaxy, basically any movie over 3 hours long. Webbit is signing on. The 3D screens inside are some of the largest in the world. They span over 40 feet tall, 180 feet long, and a total of 16 projectors help bring King Kong to life. So you can take those 3D glasses off for now, but hang on to them. We are going to use the 3D glasses one more time on our tour. We'll let you know when to put the 3D glasses back on. Like I said, we'll get another glimpse of these metro sets. They're setting up for an upcoming production here in this area. Those buildings are mostly facades. Even what looks to be like real brick and stone are made out of more lightweight materials. They'll be made out of fiberglass or plastic. The brick can be made out of. We like building the facades out of more lightweight stuff because then it's a lot easier for us to go in and change them around and give them a different look from time to time. We reuse the sets all the time. Of course, we bring in different set decoration. We bring in different props, different background actors, different vehicles, depending on the time period or the location that we're supposed to be filming in. 99% of the time, we are trying to trick you. We're filming in the metro sets. We want you to believe that this is the real city when you see it on screen. Sometimes used in dangerous situations, maybe stunt scenes, something that's too much to do in the real world. There are a handful of productions, though, that maybe perhaps give away that they are filming on our backlot. One of those shows that does it is the competition series for NBC, American Ninja Warrior. They have a lot of seasons, and whenever they film the Los Angeles rounds, sometimes their semifinal and championship rounds for the season, they film them from the metro sets. They film them from New York Street, which this is one of the ends of New York Street right here on our left-hand side. It's on the other end of New York Street as we headed up to Skull Island, so stretches throughout this metro area. In fact, you're going to see a few more sound stages on your left-hand side. We
That's why I said the
more
voice.
sound stages out here on this side of the property. The sound stages are so useful to us. This is where we film The Voice these days. Stage 30 and 31. You can see their Voice V logo painted on the side of Soundstage 30. They're in the midst of filming blind auditions at the moment. Season 26 and 27. When they film the blind auditions, they do 2 seasons at once. They work that fast. Of course, when they get into the live rounds, the battle rounds, they film the seasons at a time. But for now, 26 and 27 they worked on there for The Voice. If you're still looking left, you'll see that little body of water. We call that thing the Hollywood Ocean. That's right, that's all it takes. It was there in 1974. We added the Parting of the Red Sea to the studio tour. As a matter of fact, the star of the movie, The Ten Commandments, Charlton Heston, made an appearance to part the waters for our guests. You can see those glamour trams driving right through and getting a sea-level view on board the studio tour. There have also been exploding water mines, torpedoes, and prop submarines as part of the action in the lake. And we're not the only ones celebrating an anniversary this year. We turned 60 here in 2024, but this movie's got us beat. 2024 marks the 70th anniversary of this 3D classic, Creature from the Black Lagoon, which filmed portions of scenes like this one right there in our Hollywood Ocean. Creature from the Black Lagoon is part of our legacy of horror films and monster movies that started with guys like Dracula and Frankenstein in 1931. In fact, we have entered the birthplace of the horror genre. We have entered Little Europe, where a lot of those monster movies all began.
Studios always get monsters. Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, and The Invisible Man from the opera, classic. It's just brilliant. That Frankenstein.
Wow, we're 3 trams behind right now. Oh my goodness. In the meantime, I just want to say again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tapping that like button. Thank you for joining as we are on the Universal Studio Tour, our very first time on this. Well, I was on a stream beforehand, but our first day back since the Studio Tour's anniversary is over. on the 11th. So thanks for being here. We're all checking this out
That was
together.
Universal's first Oscar winner for Best Picture in the year 1930. Flash forward to 2024, we have now won 11 Academy Awards in that category for Best Picture. Most recently with the movie Oppenheimer this past year. That was a Universal produced film. Hey, take a look here to the left. You see that blue door and the little trapezoid roof that we're passing right now? It's next to car 2 at the moment. I want to show you some scenes from a television series. You know, we reuse these areas all the time. We don't keep our sets based on their historical value alone. We need to be able to reuse these sets again and again in the future. And Little Europe got extensively used during one of our more recent NBC shows called The Good Place, starring Ted Danson and Kristen Bell. Primarily that series, The Good Place, it takes place in the afterlife, or what they call The Good Place. You get it? Who knew that the afterlife looked just like Little Europe here on the studio lot? But they did some research. Apparently it does. And that was very convenient for filming the show.
I just figured you guys, sorry, I see some of the comments. I try not to talk as much as I can during experiences and rides. Even though we are backed up, obviously, you know, you can see that the tour is backed up. I still want to be respectful to those of you who really just want to hear the tour guide and not me. So that's why I'm usually pretty quiet on here. But I just want to say hi. Thank you again, everybody. Thanks for being patient. We're like 3 tram cars before earthquake. But yeah, feel free to chat amongst yourselves, but I don't want to be distracting to what you might want to hear from the tour guide is supposed to be.
Once one of our permanent television shows. It ran for 4 seasons. So during that time, you would find them filming interior scenes on our front lot in our sound stages, and you'd find them filming a whole bunch of exterior scenes out here in Little Europe. And I don't know if you saw that scene there with what is the bad place like? And that little trapezoid roof was there with the yogurt shop that they were sitting in. I'll play it one more time so I can pause it at that moment. Of course, again, you're recognizing maybe Little Europe in the background of some of these behind-the-scenes shots. They filmed in multiple locations of our backlot, but this is the scene that I wanted to pause it on. There you go. You can see that trapezoid roof. You can see a little bit of the blue and the red. We already passed it. It's that area that we were passing by just a moment ago. This area here on the right is known as the Court of Miracles for cars 1 and 2. You can see it right now. By the way, we are making our way slowly but surely through Little Europe. But hey, this is a real city, Universal City, and we find ourselves in some city.
Give me a second here, folks. I'm gonna drink some water.
Might be able to. You can see this. We just joined this other tour here in front of us. We just linked up with them to see where they're headed off to. Now we're following them, and hopefully this line will move slowly but surely here as we make our way to our next destination. So bear with us as we spend an extra moment here in Little Europe.
He's trying.
But no, back to this yogurt. That's the best shot that I can give you here of Little Europe in action from The Good Place. But like I said, these areas get reused all the time. Sometimes you never know where some of these things are going to appear next. The most recent thing that I know of, that film that used our Little Europe sets, they used it for an Olympics promo shoot. That's the information that I got, an Olympics promo shoot. That is a great example of how we can use areas of our background, right? We got Little Europe, we got an Olympics promo shoot. We don't want to spend the time or money to maybe go to Paris, France. So instead, we do it here in Little Europe on the Universal lot, and hopefully things work out, and hopefully things look authentic enough. We can see them in action. Like I said, though, you never know where you're going to see some of these things pop up.
So 2 things happened today. First of all, our tour guide to me sounds a lot like John Mulaney. Secondly, I could have swore we saw James Corden drive by in a, what do you call it? In a cart, a golf cart. So I'm curious now. I'm gonna have to watch the playback too. Did we just see James Corden? But anyway, there is a tram before us, and there's a tram currently in earthquake right now. So thank you again for your patience. If my face is super close, I'm trying to be respectful to the people around me as well too. So thank you. Also, just a heads up, if you haven't already, be sure to follow on IG, because I will be posting some new merch that is at Wizarding World on Instagram. Yeah, so I'm on IG, Facebook here, and TikTok. So, thank you.
And I kid you not, This is Little Europe. Take a look at the background. Can you see the trapezoid roof? Can you see the blue door, the red door frame, the two windows that are up there at the top? Take a look at the yogurt. The two windows up at the top, the trapezoid roof, the blue door frame. There we go. We've got an Olympics promo shoot here in Little Europe in action. And who knew it was going to be on Instagram as you were just scrolling by? So things like that are sometimes what pop up, and they hope that you don't recognize it. Guys like Jacob and myself, we've got a keen eye, we do this for a living, so stay in school, kids, is all I have to say. You know, we do keep these sets, and we do like the historicalness that comes about from them, headed off here towards this Soundstage 50 here coming up, so we'll get our chance to go inside here soon. With the historical value of our Little Europe sets, of course, it comes with those monster movies. Universal Studios invented the horror genre in the 1930s with the monster classics. And really, we started making monster movies as a way to save money. It was the Great Depression. We didn't even know if the movie biz was going to last at the time. So we said, all right, we got to cut corners. We got to make sure we save every dollar we can on these upcoming productions.
Okay, the next tram is going into Earthquake, and then we're next.
Reusing them. They weren't in the best
Absolutely. These tour guides are trained very well that when things like this happen and there's a backup of trams, they know what to do. So I really appreciate these tour guides.
Make it work for these upcoming movies. Also, some of those films, such as Frankenstein, we didn't pay necessarily a lot of big-name actors to star in the roles. Frankenstein's monster is played by a man named Boris Karloff. At the time, he was a background actor. He was a nobody when he was hired in 1931. Our thinking was, well, Frankenstein's monster, he wears tons of makeup, and you're not even going to recognize who is playing this character. Also, the character doesn't have any real lines. All he does is own and groan when he's on screen. So we hired a background actor, thinking, hey, we're going to pay him less, and it's going to work out in the long run. Worked out for Boris Karloff as well. Became very famous because of that one role. Dracula was released in the same year, 1931. Frankenstein and Dracula really kicked off the horror decade of the 1930s, and a little bit of the 40s. Dracula was played by a man named Bela Lugosi. He was famous at the time. That ended up being Bela Lugosi's most famous role. When Bela Lugosi passed away, his family requested that Bela Lugosi be buried in his Dracula costume. So Bela Lugosi has been laid to rest as Dracula. What people don't know is that there are two versions of the movie Dracula that were released in 1931. They made an English version of the film, famous with Bela Lugosi, but a not as famous version that's a Spanish version of pretty much the exact same movie. They used the same sets, they used the same crew members, most of the scenes were filmed in the same days. They just brought in different actors to play the different versions. And of course they had a different dialogue.
We're next.
Translated to two different languages. So they are pretty much the exact same movie. However, the critics, the aficionados of movies say that the Spanish version of the movie Dracula is way better than the English. And they've got a couple of reasons why. Mainly because the English version was the first one to be shot during the daytime. And then they would film all of the same scenes for the Spanish version of Dracula at night. So all of the same crew members, they were working on both films, so they do the first version during the day for the English. But maybe they saw a few things, they noticed a few ways to make improvements. And they made each scene look a little bit better. Also, the nighttime version, just at night, it looks a lot better than being during the daytime. And ultimately, the Spanish version of Dracula officially is technically better than the English, but all of that filmed in Little Europe, there on our right. All right, have we killed enough time? We're headed inside the Soundstage 50. Stay in your seats as we go. Stage 50 is meant to look like a subway station, so we want to show you what the inside of the Soundstage could look like, especially one that is all set up and one that's all ready to go. The unique thing about Stage 50 is that it doesn't change very much. It pretty much stays as a subway station. You can choose the inside to Oh no. Okay, nothing to worry about, folks. Just a little earthquake. You're gonna have to try to get the California. Everyone, And the attraction originally opened 35 years ago. But it just reopened this spring as part of our 60th anniversary. Got a complete Hollywood makeover, they updated all of the props and moving equipment, really brought the set into the 21st century. The attraction is inspired by the disaster cancer earthquake. Fun fact, the movie Earthquake, it's celebrating its 50th anniversary in 1974. Well, we've been through a lot. Dinosaur attacks, flash floods, King Kong. I think it's time for us to relax. We're going to take a little vacation. We are headed to... It was once terrorized by the famous shark in Jaws. Now, the people of Amity are breathing a sigh of relief these days. They finally caught that famous shark. He's hanging up over on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side of the harbor. Big grin on his face. Very happy to be there. There's a police diver in the water right now, making a final sweep, making sure that everything is good to go so they can take down the clothes. Oh no. Oh, you guys see that? I see another fin out there in the middle of the water right now. It looks like it's swimming towards our diver. Hey, that's Tomas out there. Tomas, swim back towards the police boat. Get out of the water, Tomas. He's not listening. You all right, buddy? It looks like Tomas needs no mas. That's the bee out there. All right, stay in your seats. We're going to pull forward. We're going to pull up and we're going to protect ourselves. So we're going to pull up and behind these flammable insulated tanks. This is a great thing to have behind this special dangerous loop. Surely it's safe. I think the shark got a hold of a bait that was tied to that yellow boot. Who could have suspected this? Did anyone back there keep their eye on the shark? I think I might see him over on the other side. We see it. Well, that was Bruce. That was the mechanical shark from Jaws. Now, he was named Bruce during their filming. Steven Spielberg named him after his attorney, Bruce Raymer. That is still his attorney to this day, so at least the guy can take a joke. From one classic attraction to another, to tell us where we are headed to next, here's today's show's co-anchor and weatherman, Al Roper.
Time for my favorite part of the tour, weather. When it comes to film and TV, it is truly a special effect. In fact, to demonstrate how weather effects are created, we debuted our first major attraction here on the studio tour way back in 1960. The only part of the Backlot with a 100% chance of rain. Flash flood.
A flash flood was the very first special effect built specifically for the studio tour. As we get all of the effects started, the sound effects, the rain effects, that are now flowing on your right-hand side. You know, this pays tribute to another opening day event here at Universal. When we opened the motion picture studio in 1915, our founder, Carl Lemley, had the crew demonstrate a dam break. To have no recording and playing, the water went out of control and soaked the celebrities and guests for a memorable afternoon. Nowadays, with our flash flood scenario, sure, we might get a little bit of rain. Sure, we might get a flood. But we worked out all of the tricks, all of the bugs. Nobody gets wet out here anymore whatsoever. We hope. This is the result of releasing thousands of gallons of water every time we build it. We'll show you how the flood looks on camera, used for the movie Big Fat Liar, starring Frankie Muniz, Amanda Bynes, and Paul Giamatti. You'll see the flash flood in action here in just a second. As a matter of fact, we're going to be heading up the hill. And we're going to be passing by Jaws Lake one last time. Just as onlookers, just as passerbys this time. As we do, I want to play you a special 60th anniversary clip that we have from Steven Spielberg talking about creating Jaws, the ride.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the train. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created.
Thank you all for the likes. 20 likes. Thank you so much.
The attraction opened just one summer later, 1976. It's been in operation pretty much daily ever since, unless it's the refurbishment. You'll see some Lion Estate signs we put on display here on your left. You might recognize those from the Back to the Future trilogy. Steven Spielberg was one of the executive producers of Back to the Future. We're traveling on Steven Spielberg Drive. He's important around here, and his relationship with Hollywood goes back to the earliest days of the studio tour.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom, and when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left, and then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world, on locations, but most of it was focused in those days, in the 60s, on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
We got some picture cars on display on your left-hand side. The picture car is just a vehicle that is used in a movie or a television show. In fact, we're also getting ready for Halloween Horror Nights. We're setting up for our Halloween event here in the area. All throughout September and October, we've got at nighttime the Terror Train, where you actually get dropped off here in this area and you gotta walk through some of these steps yourself. We're gonna pass by a set that's been a highlight since the original 1964 studio tour. That is the home of Norman Bates from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. The Psycho house is up on the hill. The Bates Motel is here in front of us. 12 rooms, 12 vacancies. Again, mind some of the setup that's going on for Halloween Horror Nights here in the area. Balloon House is the theme of this year's Terror Train. Starts in early September and goes to the beginning of November. That event does, so we're looking forward to that. We just wrapped up our 60th anniversary Step Onto the Lot experience, where we had some of the props and picture cars on display out here in this area. Folks were able to walk through some of these sets throughout the summertime as well. Bates Motel looks pretty good. There are only 2 real rooms at the Bates Motel, and they're on the far left-hand side of the building. The office and room 1, those actually have interiors. But rooms 2 through 12, I mean, yes, you could go through the doorways, but there's nothing happening inside. There's an actual interior built inside of the office in cabin 1, but that's because they know those are going to be the only rooms in use when you've got something happening here at the Bates Motel. Nothing going on in rooms 2 through 12.
But yeah, all this is Halloween Horror Nights. You see all the tarps up and the building and...
That Psycho house up the hill is actually a little bit smaller than the average home should be. Built on a 3/4 scale. It's a classic film trick.
So they cleaned out all the 60th anniversary stuff real fast. It's only been, say, 19th. It ended on the 11th.
And the camera is down here by the motel. Maybe it looks like the house is a little bit further away. Maybe it looks like the house is a little bit higher up the hill than it actually is. Maybe it doesn't look that way in real life. It looks better on camera. 2-dimensional image. A little bit smaller than it should be. When we pass by the Psycho House, we're going to be entering one of the most colossal sets to be built out here. We're going to be entering the airplane crash site scene from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. If you look up in the second story window, you don't see Mother rocking it. So this is all that is left of Tom Cruise's neighborhood from War of the Worlds. Large-scale sets like these have been part of the studio tour for several decades. That is why we are fortunate enough with our 400 acres of space. Not only can we have the average mundane set, but we can have some of these more unique, one-of-a-kind sets we built here on the block from time to time as well. So this is from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. It is a real airplane, a real 747 they brought in specifically for this scene. Took them 3 weeks to construct the set, took them another week to film on it, and in the movie this scene's on screen for entirety, just 4 minutes. All of this work for just 4 minutes of camera time.
Just a heads up, everyone, when we get to the Nope set, there's typically a lag, but I will still be streaming, so I'm not going anywhere. Just hang tight if there is a lag, and I would also recommend that not only do you hit that subscribe button, but you click that notification bell as well too, so that you're notified when I go live in the event the stream crashes. So just a heads up.
But again, it is a giant rental facility, and Steven Spielberg knows who to turn to in his hour of need. He knows if I want to bring in a real airplane, a real 747 to a certain backlot, well, he knows who's got the space for it. He knows who's going to say yes, and well, the movie came out in 2005, but it is a pretty magnificent set in order to be able to show up. So, sometimes sets like these stick around for a few years after the movie is over. You might have to clean up a little bit, just make sure there's enough room for the trams to drive through so we can get a close-up look. And lastly, again, we're setting up for Halloween Horror this year, coming up in September. So we can have unique sets out here to show you. We're going to show you another rather unique set. We're going to drive through it ourselves. To tell us about it, here's Academy Award director Jordan Peele.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Planet, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky G. Park. Welcome to the world of no.
We'll take a piece of Jordan Peele's advice and get out. But we are happy to have him as part of our universal family, hopefully for a long time to come. All right, stay in your seats. We're going to be entering the Sullivan Truck Repair Warehouse. We have been invited to a party hosted by the Fast and Furious crew. Yeah, that's right. They've added all 150 of us to the guest list. It's very generous of them. We're definitely going to take them up on their offer. Now, the main part of the party is happening in the next room, but they asked us to hang out here first. They said they were going to brief us on the situation. I'm not too sure what that means, so I guess we'll find out from them. I think we're going to find out right now. I just got here. I got it. Let's come on. glasses on. For now, we're just hanging out or hiding out. We don't want to be spotted. We're gonna pull into the next area and see if Toretto, Ready, Rowan, Hobbs, and Jacob can get us out of here in one piece. This time, go ahead, put those reading glasses back on. A little furious at this point.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fired!
This is our code.
Okay, guys, it's showtime! I got the bull by the horn! Don't think you're getting away!
Way to go, Larry. Drone climbing up the missile shot. Not gonna happen. Don't worry, I got you. Mama, don't shoot. Head from the bridge. Under construction. Everybody hold on.
We go like this.
You know, my Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it. They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys did good out here. I grew up on the turn out crew anytime.
Woo, ladies and gentlemen, give yourselves a round of applause. You just survived the grand finale of the world-famous Universal Studio Tour.
Woo!
Let's turn it back to Jimmy Fallon one last time.
Over the past 6 decades, the studio tours have been guests are an amazing behind the scenes. At a nervous hope you had a great time today. And on behalf of everyone at NBC Universal, thank you for joining us to celebrate our diamond anniversary. Here's to another 60 years.
On behalf of our driver Jacob, my name's Jonathan. For everyone here at NBC Universal, thank you for celebrating 60 years of the studio tour with us. The studio tour is where it all began for Universal Parks and Destinations. From those 4 guides and drivers that started in the summer of 1964 to the 7 theme parks that Universal has nationwide and worldwide. Millions of guests every year. We thank you for joining us and being part of those 60 years of studio tour history. So we're making our way to the unload area next. As soon as we come to a complete stop, we pop your gates open for you. You'll be free to go. You can throw your 3D glasses in these blue bins that will be provided. You can also check the studio directory for some of the wait times for the shows and attractions here at the park today. All of those
Curious if the wait times have picked up. I know majority of schools are in right now, but not all of them. Oh no, wait times picked up. Secret Life Pets 50, Harry Potter Forbidden Journey 45. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. All right. So that was the Universal Studio Tour post the 60th anniversary. Not much has changed except they brought the picture cars out next to where you would get off the, for the 60th anniversary experience. And they are already doing a lot of construction for the Halloween Horror Nights, which I will be posting on IG and the tick of the talk. So just a heads up. Put the glasses. There we go. There we go. Oh, it is warm. Let me get over here to a little bit of a stopping point here so we can chat just for a moment. Alright, let me go over here because this is closed. Perfect. Put this stuff down for a second. Hi! This is so weird doing the horizontal thing. My hair is very poofy. Anyway, see if there's any comments I missed. Yeah, so anyway, so that was the Universal Studio Tour, as I mentioned earlier. It is the 19th, August 19th. And so, it is August 19th. The Universal 60th anniversary, festivities officially closed on the 11th. So clearly they're still using some of the footage and everything from the 60th. Like I said, the only thing that we're not doing now is getting off of the tram and walking through Bates Motel. I personally miss Norman, as we always had a great time talking with Norman as well too. But yeah, so anyway, but that's all we're doing today on this particular stream. I do plan on doing more. Just a heads up, I will be heading to Knott's Berry Farm this week as well too. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, as I don't know how many people stream at Knott's. I know Knott's it's a little bit, they're stricter on their filming policies, so we're just gonna do like a walk around. So yeah, anyway, did I color my hair? Actually, it's the sun. I always have the purple in my hair, but the sun's really bringing it out. But anyway, so thank you again, everyone, for joining in on this Universal Studio Tour. I will have to look at the replay. I thought maybe we saw James Corden. I could be wrong. Right near the bungalows. I'll have to look back. But again, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, stay tuned for more magical moments. Thank you, everyone, and have a happy Monday. How do I get out of this?